What's your next hot take?
Yeah, I had to do this. I think the fans need this one.
Come on.
So Kassad and Bleed are obviously on the lookout for an in-game leader. They lost Hampus.
We already know where this is going. I know.
He just lost Nex as well. You know he would be good. You know it would work.
If you say fucking
bring on HooXi. Bring on HooXi to Bleed. Bleed HooXi.
That's a hot take.
Bleed.
Okay. So the hot take is Bleed. The problem is, right? Is this semi-me? Is there like a real point? Like, would it actually be a good move in your opinion? For real?
Well, yeah, okay, so right now you've got Cypher, who's aggressive. You got Jacob, who wants to be aggressive. HooXi has played a lot of the anchor roles for G2 very selflessly at that.
Okay.
And I think of the way that he would work in tandem with, like, you know, the short player at least, or something for Bleed. He would be a selfless space taker in some ways. But I also think I've also seen when HooXi played for Copenhagen Flames, he didn't have to just throw himself into every single fight. He was very pragmatic about, on certain maps, does he need to be the aggressor? Did he sometimes let people like Roy actually be a little bit more aggressive than him? If he has a guy that's more aggressive than him, he can be a support player as well. He's very versatile, even though he just flat out doesn't frag. Like, yes, his fragging is very bad, but I feel like of someone that would actually just coordinate things in the mid round, I feel like HooXi has shown numerous times that he can help in terms of smoothing things over round to round. And also, it's just like, right now, he's on the bench, or he's not on a team right now. You guys need an IGL for Bleed, and I see that there are some legs to this. Are there probably better options out there that you maybe have already scouted? I'd like to see what you get, actually, for Bleed, but as of right now, it's the first one that came to mind for me. That's why it's a hot take.
Oh, where do I start? The thing is, like, what we have to balance, what will I lose and what will I get? Like you say, do I get that much coordination?
We'll do this. Watch. I've got a blackboard here. I'm drawing two columns, Kassad. One,
pros and cons.
Right, gain, lose. So give me what would we gain? What would we gain with HooXi? Give me some.
Gain. We have the PR, like marketing thing. The fucking out of the fucking world, right?
Of course.
Now,
by the way, that trailer alone would be gangster. Do it like some sort of like anime, like Dragon Ball Z or something. They used to be rivals. Now they will team up, like Vegeta and Goku or something like that.
They will team up now versus Snacks and Taz.
That would be unbelievable. I can't lie. I know exactly. But okay. So you're right. PR's the #1 pro. Is there any other pros?
PR is the fucking top of the fucking thing. Now, what would I get in terms of coordination? Like, was HooXi really the one who was coordinating things mid-round?
He at least slightly helped. Okay, he's slightly helped.
Do you need somebody who's gonna slightly help or organize? Because slightly helping, you don't need HooXi. You can get somebody who can actually frag, yeah? And slightly help. If somebody can coordinate, then, and then do stuff as an IGL.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, Maui. If he wanted someone who can't call or frag, he'd have kept Nexa. I didn't do it. I didn't make him do it. Here's the thing, Nexa, I was pulling for you, bro, but
I was too.
You're fucking up two people's lives now. You're fucking up Kassad's career and yours. Like, listen, take a seat and get your head together, then come back. It's all good.
The thing is, like, right now, I wish I can share, like, right now what's happening and...
That's actually so foul, isn't it? I don't see it. It's so recent. I know. It's too soon for that. I know it's too soon. It is. I know. That's a violation. Fair play, Nexa. Fair play.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, like, there are no like.
Also, just spent all that goodwill with Donna CS that I built up for the last 2 months there as well.
I know.
Just burn that immediately. It's all good. Okay. Thomas Kassad, would it actually, like, by the way, I'm actually being serious now. Obviously, Bleed does have money, right? I will say, obviously, I don't think this is a realistic move because if fucking HooXi won't even consider Game Allegiant, I don't think he's going to Bleed. I'm just going to say that right now. Like, that shows to me that I think I've said this on Snake about that. I think HooXi thinks he can do a JKS Dexter and sit for like 6 months and then eventually get like a top 10, 15 offer. Personally, I said this on Snake and Banter. If you go and look at the top 20 rankings on HLTV, if he won't join Game Allegiant, he ain't getting in a team, boys. Like, there's no teams left. Like, all the other teams are either foreign language teams or they're just not teams that are going to recruit him. It's why actually I was pushing like Maui for the Astralis move because I thought it's actually one of the only bloody angles where not only could it happen, but because you're speaking Danish, maybe we can even speculate you'd be better since you looked way better in Copenhagen Flames. But aside, the weird thing I don't get is this, Kassad. Like, you have to acknowledge he would still be better than most of the people you would get for IGL, though. Like, he's still a solid IGL, right?
No, I'm not saying he's a bad IGL. The thing is, like, I also think that he would be more impactful in some sort of a younger environment, right?
Okay.
because when he was like in Copenhagen, whatever.
Yeah, Flames.
So yeah, the thing is like outside of Roy, right? Those things, those people, like they were, young.
Yeah.
And they were believing in what he had to offer them, right? Like they were believing in what he called and believing in what they were doing. And that's one of the reasons why they were so good. And that's his fucking credit right there. This is what made G2 actually, approach him and get him. Now, in this team, like you would have to have like younger players who would also believe in the project that he wants to call. The problem that I have with him is not even though I would prefer a younger IGL, somebody with like 22 years old, like that could just, develop and like be he has already a decent mind for CS, and then he can have a long career as an IGL as well. The thing is like if I disregard that, if I take somebody older like HooXi, the fragging department is the one that's really problematic now, because in today's CS, even though I was gonna make this a proper hot take, but I just disregarded it at the end.
Okay.
You don't really need an IGL in today's.
How many hot takes is this the thing, Maui?
I had 10.
I bet the second Bleed lost that game to Gamer Legion, he just instantly started loading up hot takes, like when fucking Sarah Connor has that big like belt of like ammo around herself in Terminator 2. It's like, how many hot takes are you coming to this show with? Holy shit! Okay,
man, I had
hit
like
me with
10
it. Hit me with it. Come on, what is it?
No. The thing is, like I said, like the fragging department is like the problem, right? I was gonna make a hot take with that you don't really need a IGL. I think the first team that accepts that is that you don't really need an IGL, that you need like 2 playmakers on kind of the wings, and then you have the Opera as a center thing, and then you have 2 supportive players. You can I'm gonna find like a crazy madman, obviously.
Your hot take is that you don't need an IGL anymore. The fuck?
Yeah,
that's true.
But I'm not gonna go into it. That's the thing. I'm not gonna go into it.
Oh,
but let's speak about
okay.
The thing that worries me is like the thing is like I can implement that in my team because I don't have the players that system requires, and I don't have the money for them. And
look, the obvious mean joke I would say is it only took Kassad 2 months of playing with Nexa as the IGL to go, is IGL even a role in CS2?
Nexa was never the IGL.
No,
but the thing is, like,
I know,
listen, for my hot take to make sense and to work, you would have certain players. I don't have those certain players. I can't chase that idea right now, and that's it. But this is a thing, and I will go with it like in one of the other shows.
Yeah.
But with HooXi, the fragging department is the problem, right? Because right now you need numbers. Like when they go in, you need to be delivering them. Like, just especially on the CT side, otherwise you get punished. And there is no Nico. I don't have Nico or Mones in my team to save me from his bad performances. Like, because he was playing shit. There was Mones dropping 150. There was Nico dropping 150. Hunter dropping 150 back in the day. JKS dropping 150. Like I said, I don't have those type of players. So that wouldn't make any sense to me at all. So that's a no.
Right, my take on this one is, I said it before, the real reason why this take, it's a hot take, but it's totally implausible, is one, obviously, Kassad would rather chop off his own nuts than sign HooXi. So that one's one. 2, I also don't think HooXi would ever join Kassad's team or wants to play in Bleed. So there's that one as well. Even though, by the way, I will say, technically, if they wanted to, they could pay him enough. But whatever, I don't think that's the reason he wants to join it now.
I don't think so.
No, and then 3, I also just don't, I agree with Kassad, actually. I just don't, by the way, the most obvious thing to me for HooXi is just go back to a Danish team of some sense. It could be like the fucking Gaming Gladiators type guys. That's that seems like a perfect rebuild of a Copenhagen Flames or TSM, like you say. Or if you'd have got the Astralis one, I think that's the best case scenario for you, and it didn't happen, sadly. So I don't think it's plausible it's going to happen anyway. Look, I do think HooXi is overqualified to be on Bleed. I don't know why that's a hot take. I think he's obviously done enough already to show me he could be an IGL. I agree with Kassad, he might not fit the personnel. There's that angle. I do think that's also that one thing I'm getting pretty bored of, by the way, is this thing, a bit like the discussion of system AWPers or system players earlier, right? People seem to think saying someone's a system player means they're not actually doing what they're doing and it's fake that they're doing it. It's like, no, it's the other way around. We're saying they are doing it, but they just need this kind of an environment around them. What that means is, by the way, not that they're a fraud. It's just that if they're, like, for example, if someone was to say, well, Glaive isn't as good because he didn't have that system of Zonic and a bunch of Danish players, then you've just nailed how Glaive can keep playing. Can Glaive go to fucking Falcons and have a bunch of Danish players and make it? Surely you've just given me a reason reason why he could actually keep playing there. So similarly, I do think people are unfair. Like, people act like either IGLs are just good, which means they can go to any team. No, like, you could take a. By the way, you could you can already see this with my boy Alexi B. You put Alexi B on the wrong team, it won't be that great. You know, he'll do some things well, but he will be limited. He won't be able to go beyond a certain point. But you put him on Na'Vi like this, he doesn't even need the best player, and he's got like the best team in the whole world. It's fucking unbelievable, right? So I think it's an okay take. It's an okay take. I don't really believe that. I don't think HooXi should do it. Put it that way.
No, 100%. The Alexi B
example
is perfect. He's perfect. Like, you put him in G2, and then he shit the bed there. Like, and but he's not a bad IGL. We all know that.
Yeah.
The guy went to Na'Vi, won the major, fucking become the best team.
Yeah.
Like, how can a bad IGL do it? You know. And he's like, he has the mind for it. And then, you know, he was in G2. He had fucking 6 players there.
Yes.
And then he didn't do anything. In NIP, he had decent players. That was a disaster. He didn't fucking quit. In ENCE, in OG, he was in OG. They had fucking this project. Nothing happened there. And then he turned up to be in Na'Vi, and then look at him now. Like, even look at Snappy, for fuck's sake. He was like, I don't even know where he was. And all of a sudden, he's back in ENCE, just like delivering for multiple years. So it's just about making the right fit with right IGL and players.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.